Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And joining me tonight to preview this NRL round 10 clash between the Sydney Roosters and the New Zealand Warriors. That game is on the Sunday afternoon down there at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. And joining me is a NRL content creator and a massive Roosters fan. You guys will know who he is. It's Hainsey. Great to have you back on the channel. Obviously, I've had you on the channel before a couple of times, and it's good to have you on again to chat about this game between the Roosters and the Warriors.
Hey, mate. Yeah, great to be back. Hope you're well, and hello, Warriors fans. Hope you guys are doing well as well. Yeah, it's great to be back on the Fanatics channel. It's been a while, but ready to rip in for it's going to be a blockbuster clash on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and it's also awesome to have Hainsey on again. So if you guys haven't checked out Hainsey's YouTube channel, you've got to check him out. You know, he's on all the platforms: YouTube, TikTok, everywhere, Instagram. What are you doing? Go and follow Hainsey. He's a great loyal rugby league content creator, massive Roosters fan, and yeah, go and subscribe to him. I really do recommend it. But before getting into it, before we get into the game this Sunday, I actually want to take. I like to ask the fans on their perspective of how their team went last season. So looking back at last year and how the Roosters did, they made the finals. They made the finals last year. You guys had a bit of a slow start to the year with a few injuries, suspensions. What were your thoughts here on last season? How you guys went? Because a lot of expectation, I'm sure, for a team that's got some great players. You've got a strong squad. I thought you guys would be a top 4 side, but you guys are scrapped in there in that top 8 spot at the back end of the year. So, what were your thoughts here on how you guys went last season?
Yeah, last year. Wow, you want to forget it at times.
Yeah,
look, it was real confusing. You know, on one hand, you're like way below par, but in the other hand, you're proud to show the fight and resilience in the back end of the season. You know, a lot of teams in our position with 8 weeks to go in the bottom 4, they just the queue in the rack, wipe the bad season away, just focus on next year. But you know, we play for the jersey, we play for the fans, and scraped in the finals. Had that incredible finals win where we had injuries galore in that semi-final against Cronulla in Cronulla, and you know, we managed to escape with the win there. And then week 2 of the finals, you know, in Melbourne with, you know, I can't say it now, but because we're no longer affiliated with them, but the North Sydney Bears backline in Melbourne against Melbourne, and the leading with 2 minutes to go, we were 2 minutes away from a prelim, you know, so it was sort of mixed bag year last year, you know, so much expectations, like you said, and the way that it, you know, it didn't plan out. You know, we didn't have the great year till the back end of the year. So, yeah, it's definitely a disappointing year, the first half of it, and then the back end sort of saved our season, you know, and it gets towards a pass mark there.
Yeah, and hello to Jose in the chat. Says evening. Hello to Jose. I hope you're doing well yourself. Good to see you, bro, in the chat there. And one of the loyal viewers of the channel, so good to see you, Jose. But yeah. So last year, obviously, you guys made the finals, but going into this year, there's a lot of hype. There's actually a bit of hype around you guys going into the off season because everyone, a lot of people say that you guys would be the ones challenging Penrith for the premiership this year. What are your thoughts here on that? You know, because there's so much. There's so much talk on the Roosters as a team and the squad you guys got. You know, there's no doubt there shouldn't be a reason why there isn't any hype on you guys. So, what are your thoughts going into like this season? You know, you picked up Dominic Young there from the Newcastle Knights. That's a very good pickup for you guys. Are there any like losses that you thought were a blow to you guys? Obviously Dominic Young, you can talk about how much of it and he is for you guys in the season. So. Yeah, well, what are your thoughts here on going into this season?
In terms of our losses, most of our losses were fringe first graders, and no disrespect to them whatsoever. They did a fantastic job in the jersey. You know, the likes of like Corey Allen and Jackson Paulo, you know, like they were there for the season, you know, and they weren't playing every week, but they were in there doing a job, you know. Drew Hutchinson, you know, we all know Hutcho, right? Like as Roosters fans, you know, like he was Mr. Fix-It kind of thing. Jake Turpin, all those kind of guys, you know, Fletcher Baker, they weren't going to get starts with the roster we have. So they weren't big losses.
Yeah.
In terms of in the expectation of the season, like, not going to toot our own horn, but, people argue it's the best roster in the comp on paper, 1-17 and all that kind of stuff. So I expect there's expectation every year. We're going to be in the regardless of before we start the season, there's always going to be that team, like the big guns, Penrith, Roosters, Melbourne, Broncos, kind of thing. We always expect to be at the top. It hasn't happened since 2019, since we made a prelim. So you got to have that in consideration, but you also got to take the fact that it's the best squad on paper and it's improved from last year with Dom Young and obviously the two recruits, Dom Young, Spencer Linu, were the two recruits coming into the season, And I think one thing that I want to take from last year that we've noticed so far this year, that we really missed Connor Watson last year with that knee injury. A player that can cover positions. He's played 5'8" this year. He's played lock. He's played back row. He's played hooker. So he can fill in multiple positions and do a fantastic job. So I think that's one thing that we've missed last year that's really helped us this year. But there's always expectation of the Roosters, no matter where we were the year before.
Yeah, Ben. Hello to Jacko and Jazz in the chat there. How you guys going? Good to see you in the chat. And good to see you guys both here in the chat as well. So hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, the Roosters obviously as a team, it's got a proud history. You guys have had plenty of success over the years. Obviously you guys won a grand final a couple of years ago. You beat the Raiders there.
5 years ago,
a memory for you that you probably love to relive back again in the next this year, if possible. So if you look at this year, expectations for you, is it really making the top four? Is top four, getting to that third week of the finals, is that a must for you, or what do you consider a success? Because
I mean, like, as a club like ours, we expect a premiership and nothing less. But for realistic expectations, I just want us in the top four. You got to be in the top four to win the comp. We all know that.
Definitely.
We've tried. We've been peaking at the right time in the last 3 years, where we've made finals. We're on a good winning streak, but then you go up against the big guns, and there's no mistakes, So I think this year it's just critical for us to win the comp. We need to be thereabouts come September. We need to be in the top four, and have that opportunity to have two bites of the cherry, and then go from there. It is, and I think that's one thing that we, as a Roosters, we know it's not really the start, but it's building it into a season, and I think that's what we've done this year so far. We're building into the season. We haven't peaked early. We haven't played terrible. We're peaking. Yep. We're starting to get better, consistent performances as the week go by. So, look, I mean, sure, it's great to put 60 on the Dragons on Anzac Day, but is that gonna beat Penrith and Melbourne when it matters? So, but so far, it's heading in the right direction. Yeah, I mean. I feel like there's a few games there, like the Bulldogs game, even argue the Manly game. I can leave lost to Melbourne and Penrith, but there's two games, especially the Dogs game. It's a game that we drop points, kind of thing. Yep. So but so far, the last 2 weeks have been incredible. Scoring 100 points in 2 games. So I feel like that we're getting the fundamentals right. We're starting to bring consistent performances together. And hopefully we just keep going up as the season progresses.
Yeah, and just looking at your results over the past couple of weeks, obviously you guys went and beat Brisbane last week down in Brisbane, and that's the game that you went and attended because obviously you live in there. You must have enjoyed that one.
Living in as a Roosters fan, living in Brisbane.
Yep.
It's so satisfying to see the Broncos lose at Suncorp because. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys have been. I know you were there at the prelim last year, Fanatics, but you can tell the Broncos fans, they really like to rub it in when your team loses to them. They really give it to you. And I've been on the receiving end of that for a decade now. back to the 2015 prelim where Kenny Dow threw that intercept to Darius Boyd in that same corner. Now, obviously, I'm a Blues fan, so I've had multiple Origin defeats at Suncorp, and they let you know about it. So it's always nice to flip the script a little bit and give them a taste of their own medicine, which, spoiler alert, they did not like. They did not like it whatsoever last week, and it was great to see.
Yeah, so you guys beat the Roosters there, and then you guys beat the Dragons on Anzac Day. And then you went down to the Storms. And you're talking about, teams that that the Roosters have played this year and top teams like Melbourne and that. And you guys only just went down there by 18-12. And you lost to the Dogs. Obviously, that one was a shock in a for me.
It's a game that is like it happened, move on, right? Yeah. No one expected the Roosters to be 26-0 down at halftime, and then come full time, you didn't expect the Roosters to lose by 4 when they had 11 players on the field to finish the game. So, but look, I think we've had 4 losses, and our biggest loss this year has been 7 points, and that was against Manly at Brookvale. That's the thing with us this year. We haven't been playing great. But we lost to Penrith, we lost to Melbourne, but we weren't far off from those performances either. Yep. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, we lost by a try to Melbourne off a kick. We lost to Penrith from a controversial obstruction, which I do not really want to talk about again. But we're not far off from the top teams. And then you can't beat Penrith and Melbourne in April to win the comp, but it's nice to put some ticks and points towards your name to see beat last year's grand finalists twice, one in Vegas and one at their home deck at Suncorp. So look, I think we're not far off from Melbourne and Penrith. We're not far off, but we still need some improvement as the season progresses, which I feel like we're starting to do.
Yeah, and looking at I feel like you guys will be well up there at the end of the year. I feel like you guys will be in that top 4, possibly challenging that top 2. Because you look at the moment, you guys are 6th at the moment on the ladder.
Yeah,
5 wins and 4 losses. Your for and against is 90 points differential is 95, and you're on 10 points at the moment.
We got the best attack in the comp right now. Apparently, over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because we scored 100 points in 2 games. Now we've got the best attack in the comp. Second best for and against behind Cronulla. So, a lot better with our attack. And I think the inclusion of Justin Holbrook as our assistant coach really hasn't been talked about, but I think he's done a fantastic job with our attack so far this year.
Yeah, and your defense is quite good as well. Defense is definitely important aspect of the game. When you want to win a comp, if you want to win a comp, being that top four team, you got to have a very strong defense.
Well, that's been the fundamentals with the Trent Robinson side for years, since he arrived at the club 10 years ago, has been to build the Bondi Wall. Defense wins premierships. So, we need to be. We definitely can improve, but there's signs there that we can do something this year, and hopefully we all stay fit and healthy and have the whips cracking by after the Origin period come September.
Yeah, and speaking of the game now, so we got the game on Sunday. Obviously, Matt, it's a big opportunity for you guys to push your claims to move up even further up the ladder, move further up into the top 4. Because at the moment you got the likes of the Dolphins and the Seagulls in front of you at the moment. But
we can go highest 5th this week because Dolphins obviously play each other.
Yep. Yeah. So huge game, huge opportunity for you guys this Sunday down there at Allianz Stadium. For us going into this game, it has been a bit of a form slump. We've lost our last 3 games in a row. Obviously, going down to the Knights in Newcastle this last Sunday, went down to the Dragons and then the Titans as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a real test of character for Webby. This is probably his first, being backs against the wall this year, given that last year was such a success. But yeah, looking into the teams now, Hainsey. Do you have the Roosters line up with you? Because we'll go through the teams and discuss what we're.
I can do that. Yep, I got the Roosters one here ready to go.
Right. Yep. Awesome.
Oh, do you want me to read it out? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So obviously for the Roosters, fullback James Tedesco, Daniel Tupou returns from that knee bruising on his bone near his knee. He's back from, and also Dom Young on the wing. The centers, Joseph Akuso Soli'i and Joey Manu in the centers. Halves, Luke Keary, Sam Walker. Jared Reed-Hargreaves in game 300 for the Roosters. So if you're not following along, he obviously played his 300th NRL game in round 3. But however, this is his 300th game for the Roosters. Equals the fourth player to reach 300 games for the Roosters: Anthony Minicello, Luke Rickinson, Mitch Orbison. So he joins the prestigious list there. Brandon Smith, which is a surprise for me because obviously he come off with a calf injury last week, and obviously I think Robbo said in the press conference that he was a chance to return that night, but obviously didn't need him. So I mean, I said it before we went on air. I thought we were actually going to rest him this week, but he's there at hooker alongside Lindsay Collins, Angus Crichton, and Nat Butcher in the back row. Victor Radley returns as well, lock forward. Now, the bench, I'm sorry, Fanatics, this is where it gets exciting. So, bench of Connor Watson, Nafu White retains his spot. The big inclusion this week, obviously, is Spencer Linu. He returns from his 8-week suspension. He's there on the bench and alongside Terrell May. And the reserves, like, is this like the best extended bench in the comp? You've got Sandon Smith, Egan Butcher, Billy Tupanua, Siwa Wong, and Junior Ponga. That's the extended bench.
It makes me rather nervous. And just actually looking at that Roosters team before I go into the Wars team this week, Jack has also made the comment here that the Chocks lineup is playing frightening, as we will have to fight like junkyard and mongrels to put them off their game, or it'll be a long day out. So yeah, I absolutely agree. It's going to be. This is probably the best Roosters team that they've lined up with this year. It's full strength.
Probably full strength. You know, apart from Billy Smith, he's the only one injured now. But yeah, I think this is like the first time in God knows how long that we've had full strength. Every player, apart from one player right now, is available for selection. So it feels good because, you know, we never really had that opportunity in recent years. We've had a season-ending injury from this one or this one. So it's good to be full strength at the moment.
Well, as a Warriors fan, it's probably something that I would have rather not had this week coming up against you guys. But that's just my honesty.
I do feel bad for you, to be honest. I mean, it would have been nice for the Broncos last week, but you know, not the Wars, not the poor Wars.
No, not especially after we've not been in our greatest bit of form run. So I'll just go through the Warriors team. So it's pretty much the same. There's only two changes to the side, which I'm completely surprised by, to be honest. But Charles Neal-Cook's fullback, Darling Wachini-Zelezniak on the wing, Rocco Berry centres, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Marcelo Montoya on the other wing, Tamare Martin 5'8", and Sean Johnson halfback. Fanua Blake prop, Wade Egan hooker, Bunty Afar comes into the starting lineup this week in prop, and Jackson Ford in the second row with Mitchell Barnett moving into that edge in the second row there. So moving from prop to the second row for Mitch Barnett this week. And Tohu Harris lock. Bench reads Dylan Walker, Tom Ale, Jazz Tavung, and Adam Pompey. The reserves are Jacob Laban, Tane Tuapiki, Zion Mau, Edward Cozy, and Freddie Lussick. So that's the Warriors side. Now, you know, to be quietly honest, I thought we would actually make a few more changes. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like some of these players over the past couple of weeks only just scraping through and getting into the side right now. Obviously, the halves are always going to stay the same because we've got a few.
How long? Sorry to interrupt you, but how far away is Kirk Capewell?
Oh well, Kirk Capewell played last week, but then he got injured again. So
good.
Yeah, he's out for this week's game. But bear in mind, he's been injured a lot this season, and he's just had his also been on the sideline and off the sideline quite regularly.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of injuries. We've had a lot of injuries. We've had Marata Niokore as well. Jazz. We've had the likes of Luke Metcalf as well. So we've got plenty of players who are sitting in the injury ward at the moment. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Warriors? First things first, Haynes. What's your thoughts on the Warriors from a neutral fan perspective, looking at them this year? Have you watched a lot of our games? Because as fans, we've
yes
been
and
pretty
no.
harsh. Yeah,
yes and no. I do try and watch every game, but I really haven't taken notice on the Warriors this year, to be completely honest with you. Like, I mean, there was a lot of potential this year. Obviously, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck returns. Obviously. And then obviously Metcalf had a great start to the year. Capewell, good additions to the side. But yeah, it's just like, I think you guys have been a little bit unlucky, to be honest. Obviously, the first 3 weeks of the season, right? You guys were unlucky against the Sharks. We all know what happened with Xavier Coates' tries. So you could argue that the Warriors deserved to win that game. You got some wins together. Then the last few weeks, I just don't know what happened. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, inexcusable at home, Anzac Day.
Yep. No
lose to the Titans. No disrespect to the Titans at all, but I'm like, and that's what I thought. Like, that's the game where the Warriors are up for. You know, they finally get their chance to play Anzac Day at home, and then to have a performance like that was a little bit disappointing. I think you could argue that they got away with a point against Manly, so like they're not far off, but definitely a drop off in what's the word I'm looking for here? In
performance.
No, not performances, like the mindset because last year the Warriors were, unstoppable at times, but like they just lacked that grit and determination a little bit over the last few weeks. Like there's games there last year where the Warriors that's the word, intensity. That's the word. Thank you, Jacko. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at here. So yeah, look, I mean, looking at your squad for this weekend, there's one thing that to win you this game is you've got your forward pack intact. Like you got Fanua Blake up against Jabbery Hargreaves, great matchup. Bunty against Lindsay. You got decent outside backs. Tohu Harris, he'll always do your job as one of your captains. So, I mean, your forward pack is still good enough. You got outside backs like you still Charles Nicholas has a gun. Dallin Martinez-Lesniak. You got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well, Montoya. So and obviously Sean Johnson, Tamara Martin. They always do a job. So there is a squad there that can 100% challenge us. And I always go back to that game last year. Even though you guys didn't beat us at Allianz in round 2, that was really the potential of what the Warriors were able to do in 2023, where they come up against a quality opposition at home, away from home at Allianz, and it was hard work that day. And I remember when Fanua Blake scored, when I was out, I was like, the Warriors are coming to get us. We're going to do well to hang on here. So I think that was that game that really Warriors fans started saying, okay, there's a lot of grit about us this year, but like, and it could be the same thing here. Yeah, there could have been games where they're expected to win, haven't got the job done. Next 2 weeks, a real test for the Warriors up against Roosters and Penrith, but they could bring the best out of your players. Quality opposition away from home. Motivation's there. It's like this could be the performance that brings us back into life in 2024.
Yeah, and Jacko's just saying here that the last 3 games we look like the Warriors of old, which is a huge concern. Yeah, as fans, we're looking at based on and what we've seen this season as a whole and our performances, because in stages of the game, we've had opportunities and we look like we're going to score points, and we're not being able to put a team away, and then it looks too predictable. Like the way we've attacked, I think as Warriors, we look at our attack is so predictable, and our defense as well. It's sort of dropped off from what it was last season. That's why we're concerned right now. So I know it's only 3 games.
You guys had every chance to beat Newcastle last week. You had most of the ball in that last 10 minutes, just couldn't get it done. Look, I think is it with Warriors fans, right? Like, is it because of last year that you guys did so well? And you kind of saw that expectation as like that's where we were supposed to be every year, kind of thing. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to ask you, like, do you feel like that it's because
Yeah.
we made the prelim last year, we had a fantastic run last year, the whole country was behind us. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's the bar now. That's the bar that we need to every single year under Andrew Webster. But I feel like they just haven't been able to get back to that peak level from last year.
Yeah, well, look, for me, it's based on expectation. I think all us fans going into this season have that expectation that we are going to be a team that, challenge for another top 4 spot, because of what we did last year. And then we improved our squad. We like the likes of Roger coming back to the club. There's an expectation around the club as a whole.
Really reminds me. Sorry to cut you off, but it really reminds me of the Cowboys last year, where they made the top 4. They made a prelim at home, and like that's the standard we now. And then they missed finals. And I agree. I think the Warriors are a top 8 team. I had them in my top 8 team already this year before the season started. But just feels like similar to last year. I'm not going to say a one-hit wonder because I know the Warriors are a good side, but it just feel like they just haven't been able to kickstart already this year. I mean, there's still plenty of time, so just judging on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, and that's based on what I've seen. Like, it is every fan, Warriors content creator, and a lot of the fans in general. We have our questions over why it's not really clicking. Like in that Sharks game in round 1, I hate to harp on, but go back to that game, but it sort of showed that our attack wasn't right there. We started well. We had a 12-0 lead, and we would have gone on with that result. And then it just didn't click into gear. And then that Manly game, I felt like we were lucky to get away with a draw. I felt like we were lucky to get away with that one. Some fans will say it was great effort. We came back into it. We're down 16-0, and I do agree on some of that stage. But there were signs in that game actually where it showed that maybe there was a little bit of concern and a bit of a worry. But then that Dragons game down in the Gong. It wasn't the best of performances. It wasn't a great performance at all. And it was like old habits start creeping back. It felt like old habits started creeping back for that Dragons game. And then the Titans game, I was hoping we would bounce back, but that didn't happen either. So those are games. Like, no disrespect to the Dragons and the Titans. And the Knights. Those are games we should be winning. I know Newcastle was a hard place to win at, especially against the Knights, but those games you shouldn't lose to, really, if you want to be a finals team.
The Dragons game, you guys don't have the best record in the goal. Same with Newcastle. But I think the one that really stands out is that Anzac Day loss to the Titans. I mean, the Titans, credit to them, they were absolutely fantastic, and they were due for a win. But realistically, that's a game where the Warriors needed to win at home. But it just hasn't worked so far yet. But I mean, there's still plenty of time. So, and like I said earlier, like today, Sunday's a perfect opportunity to just brings back some stuff. Even you guys don't have to win, but like a performance where you go up against one of the best teams in the comp and compete with them for 80 minutes. And sometimes those performances where you don't win, but you play well enough, it's like something that we can build into.
Yeah. And Jackie's just saying the Cowboys fell away in 2023, I believe, because Payton refused to evolve. Just did the same thing, which is where we're at right now. Yeah, I do agree. Like, the game plan is sort of, the same old each week. Like, we're not really, we're going out there. We're not really executing the game plan. And I think some things you need to look at and change it, because it can't carry on each week. Because a lot of the teams will look at that and just say, that's a Warriors' weakness. We can expose that. And I'm sure the Roosters will be looking at that as well, this weekend. I'm sure Robinson will be looking at, on the screens, watching that and thinking we can expose that as well. So, And Jose is just saying, a good point, Jacko. Yeah, it's absolutely. It feels like a familiar feeling. It feels like what I saw of the Cowboys in the previous year. And no offense to the Cowboys fans, but I hate to compare them, but to the Warriors of this year. But like the way the Cowboys went, previous season, they had a great year, and then they made the prelims, and then the following year, they dropped off. So it does have a sort of a familiar feeling about it for me. So yeah, but there's still time. Like there's still time. I've got full faith it can still, at least be a top 8 side at the end of the year. There's no doubt there's a long season. It's only 10 rounds in, but I will say this and completely honest, there is some issues worries that we need to sort out with our attack and our defence, and hopefully that can improve over the next couple of weeks. But we've got 2 tough games, and we got you guys this week as well, and it's a tough game. It's a tough game to go to Sydney and try and take you guys on, especially with you guys in great form as well. But just looking at this one in regards to the matchups, what do you reckon, Hainsey? Like a matchup that you're really looking out for in this game? I think a matchup you're excited to see.
Well, I think there's one. Me as a big fella as I am, definitely love the forward battle, and I think one stands out: Jared Reed-Hargreaves, Adam Fanua-Blake. Like that's what I'm looking to see. The 2 alpha males in the pack. Jared, Adam Fanua-Blake, and I think that, and they're going to set the tone early, and I think that's one thing we did last week against the Broncos is that our forward pack set the tone from the opening whistle, and especially with young packs coming through, like when we played Newcastle. Newcastle bashed us for the first 15 minutes, but our forward pack with our experience in the leadership, and I was like, yeah, is that all you got? Try and do that for 80 minutes, and you can tell. This is like Roosters' intensity was about Newcastle's was here, Roosters about here, and then it went like that. Just went like that. We didn't go up like that. It just went. They dropped off. We just maintained the way it was for 80 minutes, and that's how we just and our outside backs as well. Want to point this out though. Obviously, former Rooster legend Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I believe he's going to be on the same side as Suoli'i. That's a matchup that's also going to be great to watch. Suoli'i, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, going to be good as well. Obviously, what else am I thinking? Obviously, the 2 fullbacks, 2019 Grand Final rematch there. Klokstad, Tedesco, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak on Tupou as well. 2 veteran wingers as well. It's always going to be good. So, yeah, with great matchups all around the park. So, and obviously the 2 hookers, Wade Egan, the Cheese, also going to be good as well. Great matchups all around the park.
Yeah, definitely. And just go back to the comment here before I get my thoughts here. So Jacko is saying, round 13 is a bye round, is vital. We get a win before that and review things over the break and change things up a bit. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Jacko. But I think over these next 2 weeks, I'm more hoping to see a bit of an improvement in our performances. More improvement in that area. Usually I would probably say
look, if I'm a Warriors fan the next 3 weeks, Roosters, Penrith, Dolphins at home, I don't really like. You'd love to see them win all 3 games, but I was like, if I see enough that especially Penrith next week at Magic Round, it's the showpiece game, up against the Premiers on a big occasion. If you guys get up for it, and like you guys did last year, like at Magic Round, you guys didn't win, but you guys gave it to the Penrith pack and really scared them. If you guys can repeat that over the next 2 weeks and then get that win at home against the Dolphins into the bye, you can feel more relieved that it was like, okay, the signs are there. We're up against a good opposition. We competed, and then we got to win on behalf of it, and we can build off that up coming after the bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Just based on what I see and that, and I think if we can, build performances in this game against Roosters against you guys, and then the Penrith game, and hopefully get that win against the Dolphins at home, leading to the bye. Look, I'd say if we can get 2 wins at least, it'd be not too bad going into the bye. But obviously, we don't want to have the next couple of weeks of a couple of losses in a row, because against that bye, it's just it's going to really be a bit of a dent in confidence, I think, personally, for me. But so I think Naz is talking here about Volkman. So interesting enough, Volkman's going as a plus and still Yeah, I'm not. I think he's still at the. Is he still at the Dragons, or is he back with you guys at the Roosters? I'm not too sure. Hazy, you'd know this. Would you? Do you
About
know what?
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Didn't
Is he
he?
still?
I don't think. No, I don't think he was ever with us because he signed with the Dragons and
Oh,
obviously had that. He
yeah,
had that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he's.
Is he
I
still
don't
in?
think.
He's
I
still
don't know
in.
where he did it. I think he might have signed with North Sydney. I can't really remember.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe because we're not affiliated with North Sydney anymore. We've got our own reserve grade side now. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure with Vulcan and where he's at the
Yeah.
moment.
No, he's in.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I know
that's
he'd be
right.
out for the season, but yeah, it'd be interesting
Yeah.
how where that lays out.
Yeah. But yeah. What are your thoughts? Just what are your thoughts on the combination of Luke Keary and Sam Walker? How do you reckon that's been going at the moment? Like,
Oh. we go around in circles with this for the last 3 years with us, but no,
yeah.
look, ever since Sam Walker come back from his head knock against the Bulldogs, it's pretty clear now. We finally worked it out. It's his team. It's his team to run. You can see Luke Keary. He's took a step back. Tedesco's taken a step back. It's Sam Walker's team, and the direction that he's thrown, and the way he plays, it reminds me of like Alfie Langer, Stacey Jones. They're not traditional halfbacks. They play off what they see. Like if you see, like, it's perfect. We didn't really see it a lot in that Broncos game, but Anzac Day, Sloane's out of position. I'm kicking you to death. I'm just going to put it in the end goal. And he scored like 3 tries off kicks because he catches the fullback out of position. He reads the play, and that's what we love about Sam Walker, and the last 2 weeks is working. So I think we'll build. Sam Walker runs the team. Luke Keary does what he needs to do. Tedesco doesn't need to get more involved. So, yeah. So I think they're starting to work it out that Sam Walker's team, he runs it, and they go off the back of that.
Yep. And hello to Greg here from New Zealand. Hello to Greg. Hope you're doing well. And I think, with Sam Walker, he's been in some great form over the past couple of weeks. He's looking very dangerous and anonymous. And the Warriors are going to have to, watch out for him because I believe he's on a bit of a streak as well in terms of goal kicking at the moment. So I think he's
he
yeah.
So he missed last week. He missed his first. He was 23 out of 24.
Yeah.
Last week, but he has a really good goal kicking record at Allianz, and then the backup goal kicker Sully, he's never missed at Allianz. He's never missed a goal there. So
Crazy.
I mean, I think we'll be going up in 6s this week if we score. But no, yeah, good to see because I remember when he was first goal kicking back in 2021, he barely made the distance most of the time. So he's completely 100% improved his kicking game, which is great to see.
What are your thoughts? Just what are your thoughts on Dominic Young? How's he been tracking for you guys this year?
He's been solid. Obviously he had that. He didn't have that best game against the Bulldogs. Where he had a poor game before he got sent off, but I thought he's bounced back really, really well. His carries, have been crucial. And that's how the Roosters play, where their outside backs do the job. You start your sets with Tupou, Dom Young, Tedesco, Manu, Suli. All 5 of them are in there, ready to take the ball and get us out of trouble. So I think he's been good with that. He's been good under the high ball, and it's his pace. We saw it last week. It's his pace. He gets around you.
Oh, yeah.
He's not getting stopped. He's so explosive, and that's what we really missed as well. So I think he's good. He's been really good. He's getting better each week. And hopefully, and here's the thing, right? He's not going to be what he was at Newcastle right now.
Yeah.
Yet scoring 23 tries a season. That's everyone's expectation, obviously, but realistically, it's like, with new recruits like that, apart from Cooper Cronk, it's not going to go like that straight away. Like I've seen that with Brandon Smith as well. So I think Dom Young is really getting better each week, and there's some positive signs there. His defense is getting a little bit better. So so he's been pretty solid for me.
Yep, and just another player that I think I'm personally a big fan of, and he plays for Queensland. Big Queensland fan, Lindsay Collins.
Yeah,
big fan of Lindsay Collins. Yeah, big fan of Lindsay Collins and what he does. What are your thoughts on Lindsay Collins? He's a very good young forward for you guys.
Well, he's gonna be the new alpha dog next year when Jared retires and goes to the Super League. He's been incredible, Lindsay. Like the definition of a player, man. Like he's everywhere. Like he plays big minutes too. Like he can play some big minutes, and he just runs at the middle, makes a lot of work, makes a lot of tackles. And obviously he's in places where you don't expect the front row to be. Like last week, Reece Walsh puts a banana kick back towards the post. Lindsay comes behind and catches it behind his head. Like, what is the front row doing there? Like he's such a workhorse, and grateful to be in that he's one of the premier props in the game. And the pack's in safe hands when Jared changes the guard over to Lindsay next year.
Yeah, and Jared Ware-Hargreaves, obviously, he's been around for quite some time, Hargreaves, and he's been a great player for you guys as well. And 300 games for the Roosters this weekend, so huge milestone for Jared. What are your thoughts on how his career and how he's been such a great player for you?
Obviously everyone thinks he's a grub and everyone hates him because of where he's on the field, but that's what we love about him as a Roosters fan. It's like we love that. We love being, we all got to have that bad guy villain on the field kind of thing, right? He's just, and he never has a bad game. He always sets the tone from the opening whistle, whether he's running the ball, whether he's putting a shot on. He does the hard work, and such a humble guy off the field too, And like his final year, I think you can tell that the legs are starting to go on him. He's not playing the big minutes, but when he's on the field, he's just as impactful from what he was when he was coming off the bench in 2010 when he first came to the club. And one of the nice guys off the field, he might have a rap sheet on the field, but like off the field, he's squeaky clean. He's a family man, gives back to the fans and all that kind of stuff. And couldn't think of a better player to pass Orbo by the end of the season to be the all-time leading appearances for the Roosters before he sets it off into the sunset to go to the Super League next year.
Yeah, and just also on Connor Watson, another player that I actually am a big fan of as well. For you guys, and off the bench, he's in the 14 this week. He's been playing a big role for you over the past couple of weeks. What are your thoughts on how he's been tracking? He's actually been back to his best, I think.
Well, I said it earlier in the preview that we really missed him last year, and you can tell that like cover multiple positions, and he's been fantastic for me. It's great to see Watto after what happened last year that he's killing it, and he's happy with his footy, happy the way he's going, and just great to see him playing well, getting regular starts, regular appearances, coming off the bench, whether it's 13, 9, even played 5-8 a couple of weeks ago. So it's really great utility to have, and didn't even really come to this last week. I didn't think of it, but I'm starting to feel like, I don't think it will happen, but potential really, really, really origin smoky for New South Wales as the 14.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a mass, not I mean like he's the front runner, but like one of the surprise, what's the word? No, not roughies. What the hell was it? Smoky, that's it. One of those rare origin smokies that no one's going to talk about, but it's like, have it in the back of your mind. It's like, I'd love to see Connor Watson play 14 for New South Wales. If an injury goes down, you can have him at 6 anywhere, kind of thing. And I think, but yeah, it's just great to see him playing some good footy again.
Yeah. So just looking at the bench, I reckon your bench is very strong. Like, well, the whole full side is strong in general. Like Connor Watson, Nafahu White, Spencer Lenu, who's getting his opportunity after a couple of weeks on the sideline, and then Tyrell May. So it's a very good bench for you guys. Obviously with us, it's we've got Jazz there, Tom Arley. Jazz, great to have him back on the bench as well. Dylan Walker as well is a great player to come off the bench, especially what he brings to the table. Tom Arley as well. I think the only thing that I am a little bit surprised by over the past couple of weeks is having the likes of an outside back off the bench and Adam Pompey, which I think is. I don't actually agree with it. I think if you're going to have another position on the bench, you've got to have another forward there. But you got because if you look at the Warriors reserves, we've got Jacob Laven and Zion Moe. Now those two players could easily come into the side for me. So Hazy, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the two benches, particular? If you look at your guys' bench and you look at our bench, are you surprised with what the Warriors have gone with their bench and compare it to you guys? Because I think your bench is one of the
just having a proper look at it. We in terms of ours, we've got 3 middles on the bench, and
Right.
obviously got 14 as Connor Watson. So really powerful, really powerful. Obviously, Dylan Walker will play 14, do what he needs to do there. Obviously, you got Adam Pompey, who middle come on off the field off there. Trying to remember Chaz Tavanga. Is he a front row or back rower? Can't really remember. And Tom Alley as well. I'm trying to actually get it up. What is his position normally?
Tom Marley's
anyway, but yeah, okay, yeah. So you obviously got similar 3 middles in a 14 to do come in and around there. Look, I think I can easily see a world where your forward pack matches us to start the game, and then when we get Spencer, Terrell May, Nafu White, I think that's where we're gonna open the game up a little bit, because I think we're gonna have, and that's the thing, we're not losing any capability when we take off Lindsay, when we take on Jared, we bring on Terrell May, probably been the best interchange prop in the game right now, and obviously Spencer Linu, the best impact player in the game before when he was at Penrith. So, look, I mean, obviously Adam Pompey, front rower, I think it's a standard bench from the Warriors that you guys that is available right now to use. So, yeah, look, I don't think there's any concerns with that bench, but it just feels like that the Roosters are a lot stronger on the bench.
Yeah, and Richard saying here, hey, how's it going, bro? How you doing, Hainsey? Hope we can cause an upset this weekend, but very confident at the moment. Love your vlogs too, real passion. So you got a fan there from.
I appreciate it, mate. Really do. I do enjoy doing game day vlogs. It's always what I look forward to every weekend.
Yeah. So just the comment here from Jazz saying hopefully having Pompey on the bench is a froth. Hoping to get Lussick on the bench. So yeah, I see Lussick's in the reserves there. So whether he comes into the side, I'm not too sure. I think they probably will stick.
He's back from suspension, isn't he?
Yeah, he's back from suspension over the. Obviously, with that suspension, he got in the cup game a couple of weeks ago against Souths.
Another Roosters legend as well. Freddie Lussick.
Yeah, played for the Roosters. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's not too bad of a hooker. Definitely does the job. I'm actually a bit disappointed that the New South Wales Cup game this week is in New Zealand. Because I remember last year when we played the Warriors at home, we had the double header. We had obviously reserve grade on beforehand. Yep. So it was especially the old heads as well. They love to see like all 3 grades. Jersey Flag, New South Wales Cup, first grade. Back in the old days when you have all 4 grades on the Saturday. But which is a bit of a shame because I love to. I got a lot of mates of mine who actually play reserve grade for the Roosters. So shout out Dylan Harper and Max McCaffey for that. Keep an eye on them too in this World Cup. If you guys are heading out there, it's in New Zealand on the Saturday. What's the stadium called? I was hearing about it earlier. Get it up. I think it was like it's not at Go Media, obviously.
No. Yeah, we don't play a lot of our cup games there. I think it's I think it's one of those stadiums, North Harbour.
Yeah, Stadium. I think it's North Harbour.
Yeah, North Harbour Stadium. I know the stadium there.
North Harbour Stadium. Yeah. 12 o'clock, I think, for you guys over there. So yeah. But I'm really looking forward to big game on Sunday.
Yeah, and Jazz is just saying here that Egan needs some respite, getting bashed and tackled. Yeah, he is. He's always getting bashed and tackled every week. He's He's one of those.
That's the way, right? You look at the small guy on the field and target him. So
yeah,
I know for sure that there's going to be a lot of traffic sent at Sam Walker and Luke Keary come this week. So, but just get your body in front and hopefully your middle's help out.
Yeah, and the referee for this one, match official is Casey Badger. Very interesting.
As a Roosters fan, I'm glad it's not Ashley Klein. I'm glad it's not Ashley Klein. Yeah. Well, I don't like Ashley Klein. I think if you guys watch my YouTube stuff, I think you know pretty well that I'm not a fan of Ashley Klein. But I mean, look, I mean, Casey Badger had a bad game last week, but like, sure. But you know, doing stuff that you know she'll still do a good game. I'm sure of it. You know.
Yeah, and just reading up on these stats for head-to-head stats, they've played 44 times since 1998, and the Roosters have won 22. Warriors have actually won 21. I'm surprised how close that is in terms of
very similar. Well, obviously, you had that great period. You had that great period in 02 where you guys were good. Obviously, we had some bad years through obviously 2011, 2012, 2016 we weren't great either. But I do remember times where you actually have beaten us. I remember 2018 was the last time you guys beat us actually at it was at the old Allianz where you guys bashed us that day. I think we lost 30-6 or something like that. Yeah. And obviously there's been some thrilling games between the two teams. So yeah, it's really evenly matched, and I think that's one thing about this game. Yeah, it's always evenly matched between the two teams.
Yeah, and that's right. Minor premiers in 2002. That's right.
And then we won the comp. Sorry, Warriors fans. I know how to remind you about it. Freddie fit the masterclass.
Yeah, you guys did the main thing was to win the grand final. We couldn't do it that year, but I think that was that year.
We literally ended a 26-year drought in 02. It was a big deal for us in 02, or even though I was only 5 months old. But yeah. But yeah, like that was peak Warriors, you know. Yeah, but yeah, obviously it's no brainer to see that's really evenly matched in the head-to-head.
And just some other stats I'm just reading up on. The Warriors have won 4 of their past 5 games at Sydney venues. This courtesy of the NRL.com. Some stats.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 of their past 5 games.
Thank you for beating South the other week too. That was golden to watch. I'm trying to remember what stadiums they would be. I'm trying to remember where you played like. You beat Dragons in Wollongong. That's 2.
Yeah, what was that last?
We lost them again. So that's 3 games, and then what's the other 2? I'm trying to think of here. I'm trying to think of last year. You guys didn't play Manly, did you? Did you guys play Manly at you also beat the Bulldogs. Bulldogs at 4 and the Sharks when you guys won 32-30 when you come back from like 30-6.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's the Dragons. 5 games I remember in Sydney. Yeah.
And the Dragons as well, because we had a shocking record against them over the years.
And then it continued when you guys lost to them.
And then we lost to them this year. It's crazy in itself. But yeah, see, Jared Weir-Hargraves, he becomes the 4th Roosters player to appear in 300 games for you guys. And the Warriors have lost their last 7 games against the Roosters. So your record against us in general, we haven't beaten you guys in a while. So yeah, and Joey Marnie's scored 5 tries in his past 4 games at Allianz Stadium as well. So there's a bit of a stat there as well. Yep. But so Roosters have won their last 3 games. You guys beat the Broncos there, Dragons, and beat the Knights. Then you guys lost to the Storm, and then you lost to the Bulldogs. And, of course, we've lost our last 3 games in a row to the Titans, Knights, and the Dragons. And, obviously, our only win came against the Bunnies only a couple of rounds ago. It's been a while, 34-4.
Thank you for that.
And then we draw to the Seagulls 22-all. So, overall, it's Allianz Stadium. The Roosters have got a 64% win record, which you'll be really happy about. We've only at 56%. But regularly, we don't actually play.
Is that like overall, or is that the matchup between the two teams?
It's the win record at Allianz Stadium in general, with the Warriors and the Roosters.
Okay, well, I was like, I swear we've had a better percentage overall. I think we already lost like 3 games there. But yeah, look, going to be good. Going to be good. Obviously, like I said earlier, the Warriors fan base will be there. I know that. I know the Wars bandwagon will, especially at a premium ground like Allianz. So it'll be a good crowd. I reckon around about 25,000. It's Mother's Day as well, and it's a big occasion for Roosters fans. Obviously, Jared playing in surrender game for the Roosters. It's a big deal for Roosters fans. Obviously, Spencer returns. It's going to be a massive game, massive day out at Allianz, and honoured and privileged to be at Allianz. I've never missed a Roosters home game since it was built. So, yeah, looking forward to what's going to be an absolute mouth-watering clash.
Yeah, and looking forward to your vlog as well, which that will be real interesting to see how.
Should be good. And I promise, I promise I won't bag any Warriors players in that vlog. I promise that you're watching. Not as much as I was with Reece Walsh last week.
Yeah. So, Hazy, just what do you reckon now? Just the prediction-wise, score prediction. Obviously, you're backing your boys in here at home. What do you reckon? How do you see this game going? Do you reckon it's going to be one-way traffic to your boys, or do you think it'll be a competitive match for the War? Can the Warriors be competitive against your boys, or are you expecting a pretty comfortable win?
I think on a normal day, I think it's a really close affair, but because the occasion for the Roosters, especially for Jarrett, I feel like that it's a game where we're up for massively similar. I'm not saying a flogging, but I'm saying like a pretty comfortable win here. I'm going the Roosters. It is wet weather as well. There's a bit of rain around, so I'm going to go the Roosters 20-6. We'll still win 13+, but 20-6. I think it'll be really, really tight early on. I think we just score two quick late ones to seal the win there. I think it'll be really, really tight early on, grind, and then I think the Roosters will just have too much for the Warriors.
What about anytime try score and the first try score? What do you reckon?
Ooh, I'm trying to look at the spreadsheet from the Roosters recently. I mean, it's hard to go past first try scorer. I'm trying to remember our last try scorer. Trying to think there's no real standout. Like for the Warriors, obviously your lock every week would be Dylan Lieutenant Lesniak to score every week, but it's been it's been more spread out with the Roosters, so it's really hard. So I mean, I'm going to go with I'll probably go Daniel Tupou. He's obviously back in the side, the lethal left side, and it's hard to go. It's hard to go past Jared Reed-Hargreaves anytime try scoring game 300 for the Roosters. Wouldn't that be the narrative as a Roosters fan? I'd love to see it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a special occasion to see if he can score. Especially in 300 games for your club as well. So, for me, look, prediction wise, this is tough. It's going to be a tough one. It's definitely going to be a tough one. Obviously,
I'm not overly confident. Like, I'm not going to be coming out and saying like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to flog the Warriors," because I know what the Warriors are like, and I know this game.
Yeah.
I can see a world where the Warriors are up for it big time, and they really give us a game. So I'm not overly confident, but I'm pretty confident that we should get the job done due to the occasion and at home. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors cause an upset, but I just can't see it happening this week.
Yeah, as it's fucking down of rain in the background here. So we've got a bit of rain here on the Gold Coast. But Jazz saying I'd be very confident if I was you, Hazy. Jared has 300. Big on
not
occasion,
overly confident.
but a big solid effort from the Wars with less errors. Yeah. But yeah, that's the key. That's the key. That's the key for me. Jazz is the discipline, especially when what Webby said post game after the Knights game, he thought our discipline wasn't good enough. So that's why we lost that game against the Knights. And discipline's a key. It's really important against the Roosters team as well, because they're a very good team, and they can make you pay if you don't. If you get.
I think that's what we really did the last 2 weeks was, put the foot down when needed. So Sid with Victor. Oh, I still remember that sign last year getting the bin Radley at that round 9 game in New Zealand. That was iconic. but yeah, hopefully cool calm head from Victor and Jared. That'd be nice.
Yep, and Jason Reedy, good to see you in the chat, Jason Reedy. He's a
Hello, Jason.
support as well. Good to see you there. And we'll just wrap it up. So my prediction here, obviously, look, head is saying Roosters, but heart, I'm going to have to go with my heart here. Obviously, back my boys.
You got to back your team, bro. You got to back your team.
Can't back against my side. So can't back against my team,
Exactly.
of course. I'm going to go Warriors here. Warriors 1-12. Warriors 1-12 there.
I know one thing's for sure. I know the Warriors winning the penalty count because the Roosters don't win penalty counts. So.
Yeah. And Richard's saying here, with more confidence in us Swans fans at the moment, your team is playing well, and then that's why I'm a bit nervous for this one. Quite nervous actually.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. But hopefully, the boys can put in a performance here and get the win. In Sydney, it'll be a huge win because a lot of people aren't expecting us to do well this weekend. A lot of people expect us to probably get smashed, but Warriors fans are hopeful. We're hopeful for something, a big performance. So Warriors 1-12 for me. Try scorers. We'll say Dallin. Yeah, Dallin Wachini-Zelezniak there. And I think for the Roosters, you guys, I'll probably say Dominic Young because he's probably going to cause a bit of damage for us, unfortunately. But I hope not. I hope our backline can contain Dominic Young, but he's going to be a hard one to contain. So I'll always say Dominic Young for you guys in terms of anytime try scorer there for the Roosters in this game.
Yep. Very interesting.
But I think that pretty much wraps it up. It's great to have Hainsey on to preview this game. Really appreciate you for giving your time up and coming on and having a chat about this game. And all the best. May the best team win. Good luck.
My pleasure, mate. Thanks for coming back on. Good luck on Sunday.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good one. Can't wait.
Awesome. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you don't forget like this live stream if you haven't done so already. If you're watching this video back, make sure you do click the thumbs up button. And also make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Warriors NRL Fanatics, and go and subscribe to Hainsey's YouTube channel as well. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, commenting, interacting in the chat there. And bring on Sunday. Up the wires, go the Warriors, and hopefully for a better performance from the boys on Sunday. Cheers. Have a good one, everyone. Good night. Up the wires.
I'll see you at Magic Round as well.